Alright internet, MissNikNak here, and it is that time of year again, the best time in the video game calendar, starting tonight for me in England. It is the beginning of E3. So, I know I'm leaving this a bit to the last minute, but you know, there's been a lot of like leaked information and stuff that's been coming out, so I thought I'd wait until pretty much the last minute until doing my list of things that I predict, because then I can kind of cross out all the things that are definitely not going to happen. But yes, let's get right on with my E3 predictions. Okay, so starting off, I'm just generally going to go for the games that I think are going to come out, then I'm going to go on to do the press conferences and individual things that I think can happen there. Games that I don't know which press conference they're going to be in, but I think are definitely going to be there. I am hoping to God that Red Dead Redemption is going to be there. Yes, I really hope that the sequel is going to be there. Well, I say sequel, a lot of like rumours have been going around that it's possibly going to be a prequel, still with John Marsden as the main character. So I would love for that to happen. I know it's not like Rockstar at all to be doing anything like that. They don't normally go to E3 and make their announcements there. They just kind of do it because they're Rockstar and they can. But yeah, I'm really hoping that that's there. And on the other side of things, games that I'm really hoping to be announced, because there have been a lot of rumours and it's pretty much all been confirmed but the BioShock bundle remaster. So apparently we're getting a remaster of BioShock, I think BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite, which I need in my face right now. If you guys don't know, I am an enormous fan of the BioShock franchise, and just to play through those games again in like remastered glory. I know I normally aren't all for remasters, especially because I'm like, oh well, they only came out so ever long ago, like what, Infinite only came out about 2-3 years ago. But I love them so much, I don't even care. I will give you all my money to give me that game but looking better. So please, can we get that announced, like with a date? So, yes, please, now. Just quickly going to talk about, obviously, Nintendo, because we've heard that they're not going to have the NX at E3 at all this year, and there was a lot of stuff for a while saying that they were just going to bring Zelda to E3. I know that that's been changed now. They're going to bring a few other things like Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sun and Moon, which I'm very excited for, not going to lie. I do want to see more kind of footage of Pokemon Go being used, because I'm very excited for that to come out. But yes, I'm disappointed, obviously, that the NX isn't going to be there. But I know Zelda is, and from what I've heard, that there's rumours that the play demo is going to be about 90 minutes long for what people are going to play there. So I have no doubt in, like, I know Nintendo's not been making all the best decisions recently. I think everyone's kind of got the idea. But what I will say is that I know for a fact that I have so much faith in them that this Zelda game is going to look amazing. It's going to be amazing. I hope it's open world, like everyone's been saying it is, but because that Zelda kind of just screams like it should be an open world game, so I really hope it is. And I really can't wait to see it, because I know it's going to be beautiful. So yes, more Zelda please. I want a release date, that'd be great too. Just saying. Okay, so on to the press conferences. So first up we have EA, who are doing their own little thing this year, doing a press conference separately from E3, and that's going to happen tonight, so I'm very excited for that. But yes, so my predictions are that I think we're going to see a new Star Wars game. I think that's a given. I'm really hoping it's the one they've been talking about for ages, that's kind of going to be a third-person action-adventure game that's kind of be in the same vein of Star Wars 1313. So please let that be a thing. I really want to see that. I need a Star Wars game that isn't Battlefront. I want to be able to walk around and have a story. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I'm sure also with EA we're going to get a lot of Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm hoping. We've only seen bits of it so far and like a few trailers, but it would be nice to see some actual gameplay and maybe get a release date. I didn't actually play all of the Mass Effects. I only played a bit of the first one. I really enjoyed it, but I kind of feel like it's a bit late to start doing that now. Don't get me wrong, if EA come out and they go, oh, here you go, here's a Mass Effect remaster bundle of all three of them, yeah, I'll play that. I'm sure we will see Sims 4 in some capacity, if it's not like an expansion or something like that. I know that they've got like a thing coming out in the next few days that's kind of like a dining expansion, which I'm still going to get because you know me, I love The Sims. But I'm really hoping for a big expansion, like something they used to have in the old games. So something along the lines of, say, like pets, or like, do you remember in the old days they had like Making Magic and stuff like that? I want a big gold expansion. And this is just from my personal list of things I wish EA would bring back. This is so unlikely that this is going to be at E3, and I mean so unlikely, but it is like one of the top of my wish list. I would love to see EA announce Dead Space 4. I think it's so unlikely. I have a feeling that that franchise has kind of died a death, especially because the company that made it are now pretty much in charge of the Battlefield games. So I think it's unlikely, but I just crave a new Dead Space game so much. I love Dead Space 1 and 2. 3 was alright, but I think it was a bit of a step in the wrong direction. It was too out in the open and not so claustrophobic and terrifying. But yeah, I absolutely adore the Dead Space games, and I would love to have a fourth one. So please let that happen. I will lose my shit if that happens. So please let that happen. Okay, so moving on to Bethesda, one of my favourite video game companies. I'm sure that they're going to have a little bit of a summary about how well Fallout 4 did, because it did incredibly well. So I'm sure they'll have a little bit of a talk with that. I'm absolutely certain we're going to get a lot of Dishonored 2. I don't know, have we got a release date for that yet? I don't know. But if we have, we're definitely going to get a release date. Probably some gameplay, I'd imagine, because it's quite late on in its development now. But yeah, I'm really excited for Dishonored. I really enjoyed the first one, so hopefully we get lots of that, and I'll be very excited for that. And now this has been a big rumour that's been circulating in the last week, which I am super pumped for if it's real, but there have been a lot of rumours and speculation about the fact that there's going to be an Elder Scrolls remaster coming up. Now specifically they say it's going to be Skyrim, which, don't get me wrong, I will lose my shit about this if it's real, because I love Skyrim. It's one of my favourite games of all time, and I know, like, I mean, I've got it on my PC as well, so it looks just as good, like, playing it on my PC, but I do really like playing those games with controllers, and I'd love to see a remastered version of it. A lot of people have been quite annoyed. I've seen a lot of people being angry that it's meant to be Skyrim getting a remaster, say, rather than Oblivion or Morrowind. Don't get me wrong, I'm like pumped for it being a Skyrim one, but if it turns out to be Morrowind or Oblivion getting a rehaul, oh my god, I'm gonna play the shit out of it. So please, give me more Elder Scrolls. I mean, don't get me wrong, if that turns out not to be true and they just do a tease for Elder Scrolls 6, that'd be so great. Oh my god, could you imagine? Can you imagine how many people would lose their minds at a tease for a new Elder Scrolls game? I'm so excited for a new one. So yeah, please, can we? I want more of that. So any new information about something in the Elder Scrolls franchise, and I will eat it up in a second. Moving on to Microsoft, I think there are a few obvious ones that we know are going to be talked about here. Mainly Gears of War 4, I think, is going to be a big part of their press conference. I absolutely adore Gears of War, so I'm very excited to see some actual... Well, we've seen gameplay, and we've had betas, but they've all been in multiplayer, so I'm really excited to see some more gameplay of the story. We did see some last year, and it looked really impressive. So, more of that, please. Very exciting for Gears of War, and I'm sure that... Does that have a release date? Wow, Nikki, you've really done your research here. But yeah, no, Gears of War 4. I think that's going to be an absolutely enormous part of that. I think it's very unlikely that we're going to see any form of Halo this year. I think we won't see anything of that until next year. I mean, unless they want to do what they did a few years ago, like with the little tease. Remember when they had that little promotional video, like the little tease where it was Master Chief out in the desert? God, that was so rad. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know. I really, really, really want to see Sunset Overdrive 2. I know that game wasn't for everyone, but it was one of my favourite games a few years ago. I played it so hard. It was one of those games I went back and I got every single collectible. I played the multiplayer, everything. I absolutely adored Sunset Overdrive, and I would love for there to be a second one, because they did leave the first one on a cliffhanger, so fingers crossed we get a new one of that this year. We'll see. I don't know how likely it is that we're going to see a new console. I think from Microsoft, I think it's more likely than any of the others. I think obviously NX has been completely cancelled out, and PS4's also spoken about the fact that they're not going to have the Neo at E3 this year. So I think it's possible that Microsoft could be showing something this year. I don't know if it's going to be a slim Xbox or it's going to be like the Xbox 1.5, like an overpowered one. I don't know, but I think they just want to get the Xbox One in as many homes as possible. So we're going to have, I imagine, like a price cut, and then a new version is going to come out. So we'll see what happens there. So I think that's going to be a little bit part of the Microsoft press conference. And thing I'm most anticipated about in the Microsoft press conference, which I never thought I'd say, but I'm really excited. I want a fucking release date for Cuphead. I'm so excited for Cuphead. I remember like a few years ago, all we saw of it was like a clip in a little showcase, like a showreel they did of indie games that were coming to the console. And I saw like a 2-second clip of it and I was like, holy shit, what is that? How amazing does that look? It looks like old school Disney. So yeah, anything like Disney and video games together. You know me, Kingdom Hearts. This is dodgy. But yeah, I want that in my life. So please, can I have a release date for Cuphead? Because I feel like I've been waiting for ages for that. And it's like one of the highest on my anticipated list. So please. Moving on to Ubisoft. Now, this year we don't actually have an Assassin's Creed coming out, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, I love Assassin's Creed, you know I do. I have like 7 or 8 Assassin's Creed statues in my room, I love it. But I think the franchise does definitely need a time to think about, like, reinvent itself maybe, and yeah, it doesn't need to be released on a yearly basis. But saying that, I'm sure we're going to have some sort of tease or trailer about it in their press conference, which will be amazing because, well, fingers crossed, it won't happen like it does every year. Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed seem to be leaked every year, like a picture of the protagonist or anything like that. So as long as nothing happens in the next 24 hours, which now I've probably jinxed it, hopefully we won't get leaked before we get a trailer. So I think there'll be a little trailer that we might get in Ubisoft's thing this year about that. So it'll be cool to see that, see what they've been working on. I'm excited. But things they have definitely been working on, because we've seen it, we're going to have Watch Dogs 2 stuff there, for sure. And I think, from what I've heard, it's looking very good. So, but we'll see. There was a lot of controversy about it when Watch Dogs 1 came out, because they had the preview of it in the press conference, and it was so rendered up, and it looked amazing. But then when the game came out, it looked nothing like that. It was so upscaled in the press conference, and it really disappointed people. So hopefully they've learned their lesson and they don't make it look too ridiculous in the press conference. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see that. I wasn't that keen on the first one, but I'm willing to give it another try. I think that you can learn a lot from your first game and build upon it. Another game from Ubisoft that I'm very excited about is to see more of For Honor, which was announced last year, and it was like a multiplayer, old school medieval clash battle game. That's a really stupid way of describing it, but I'm so excited to see more of it. If any of you know me, I love like anything that's like a period piece, or I hate saying that, but yeah, a period piece thing like medieval and like fantasy land. I know this isn't fantasy, but anything that's like really old fashioned. Like in my mind, I'm always like, ooh, Tudor time, but that's British, obviously. But anything like that, I'm all about it. I have a weird nostalgia for it. I think I may have been around there somewhere in my past life, maybe, who knows. But yeah, For Honor, I can't wait to see more of that this year. Very excited. And Aisha Taylor, yes, I love you. So excited you're back at E3 this year to do the Ubisoft press conference. You are amazing. And finally, on to Sony, which is actually going to be my most anticipated press conference this year, mainly because one of the people who works there tweeted out the other day that they have a lot of surprises and things that are going to blow people's minds. And then the next day it was announced that the Neo isn't going to be there. So I thought that was going to be what was going to blow people's minds. So now I'm really intrigued. So I can think of 2 things. Oh, I spat just then. I can think of 2 things that's going to be. I think I'm going to make people very happy. I think it's either going to be, I think we're finally going to get Crash Bandicoot. I'm hoping, mainly because obviously we had the developer wearing that shirt a few years ago or last year, and then obviously we had the full level of it in Uncharted 4 this year. So I think something's going on. I think they're teasing us for the mighty return of Crash Bandicoot. So I think that's going to be the thing that's going to make everyone lose their shit. I'm hoping. Either that, or we're going to get a tease of The Last of Us 2. But I think that's pretty solid that that's going to happen. Well, I don't think it's going to be anything big, but I think it's going to be a tease, just enough to get people really excited. I mean, you can slap The Last of Us 2 on anything and people are going to lose their minds anyway. But yeah, I'm certain we're going to see something along the lines of that. Nearly certain. Also, with Sony, I think we're going to see Destiny 2 this year. I think they're going to start off with... No, actually, I think they're going to announce Destiny 2. But then they're going to be like, oh, but obviously this is going to be out for a while, so we're going to have some more expansions and stuff out. I know that they've got a new thing coming out in the next few months, which I'm very excited about because I love Destiny. But I'm very, very highly anticipating Destiny 2 and what they can build upon it, because Destiny's not perfect. It's so addictive, but it's not perfect. And if they can just listen to what fans want, I think they can make it incredible. So bring on Destiny 2 any day now. But I know it's probably not any day. It's going to be about a year or 2 away. And because it's Sony and we don't have a Square Enix press conference this year, I think Final Fantasy is going to be fucking everywhere. My most anticipated game of this whole year, one was Uncharted 4, but that's already gone now. But now that that's out of the way, it's definitely 100% Final Fantasy 15. I adore the Final Fantasy franchise. I cannot wait for the new installment. That's the word I was looking for. But I cannot wait for that, and I think it's going to be everywhere. I think we're also maybe seeing, oh god, I can't talk today. We might see a little bit more of Final Fantasy VII, the remaster, so we may see a little bit of that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a similar thing to what they've done in other games, where they may actually put a slight teeny bit of a tease or a demo in Final Fantasy 15 for Final Fantasy VII. I think that's likely, but because it will obviously increase sales dramatically, but not that I think it's not going to sell anymore. I think Final Fantasy 15 is going to sell shit tons, but that's just me, and I'm a big fan, so... But yeah, I can't wait to see some more final little things about that, because I don't really know what else they can show, because they had that giant event a few months ago that was amazing, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Things that I'm sad about, I saw that Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't going to be at E3 this year, so once again, you've dashed my expectations. So that's quite sad, because that's the game I'm most excited about of everything, because I've been waiting so long for Kingdom Hearts 3, and apparently we won't get anything new announced until winter. Which even then, I think it would just be that they've announced that we'll have like Star Wars or something in it. I think that's likely. But yeah, no, I think we will definitely see more of Kingdom Hearts 2.9 at this convention though, which I'm very excited for. Seeing Kingdom Hearts in that beautiful PS4 graphics is going to be amazing! But yes guys, so those are my predictions for things that we're going to see this year at E3. I may do a roundup one of this after the press conferences to see if I was right about anything, or if there's some surprise things that are going to blow my mind. Here's hoping. There's always something at E3 every year that takes everyone by surprise, and I cannot wait. Well, I'm hoping so, because there's been a lot of leaks this year, more so than normal. But yes guys, I hope you enjoy this few days of E3. I hope you enjoyed my predictions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye!